You guys realize that our economy is basically a pyramid scheme, and it's literally the most useless metric to go by to assess how well the country is doing. We always hear about how the economy is growing and whoa, it's like a good thing. But if we really truly think about it, in order for the economy to grow, there has to be more young people in the workforce in order to support the older people, right? Because once the older people retire, they will be enjoying their retirement and pension funds or whatever, and then there will be like younger people to support them. But as time goes by, these younger people will be older, and then there will be more younger people that needs to be there to support them. So if you see in a way, it's literally a pyramid scheme. And that just got me thinking, why are we still measuring the country's success, whether the economy is growing or not? Because in order for the economy to grow, we establish that we need newer, younger people. And by doing that, there's only two ways to do it. First is we need either your citizens to make more babies, or we import new foreigners as new citizens. So let's talk about the first one. The reason why your citizens wouldn't be making more babies is probably because of the cost of living. And if the cost of living is rising up so much, the only way to tackle it right now is to import more new citizens. And usually the new citizens that you import could be, one is for their intellectual skills, cheap labor, or they have a lot of wealth in order to grow this economy. So by doing these two things, right, if when you're importing the new citizens over, the cost of living issue will still be there. And not only that, it will go up exponentially because the people who can afford these basic necessities are now richer than ever, and they're able to pay more for these necessities, which means everything will go up as well. So even then, after if you give it a certain time, the cost of living issue will affect these new citizens as well. So the issue is still persistent, right? So in a way, this system is not sustainable at all. And another thing about using GDP, your economy growth as like a success metric on how well the economy is doing, is that it doesn't even take account into account the individual's happiness, right? So let me just give you an example. Like let's say if an individual who is sick, right? They need to go and buy medication, and the medication prices has gone up as well. That will also positively impact the economy. However, it will negatively impact the individual's happiness, right? So you see, there's actually an inverse relationship. Like another example would be maybe if two couples are having a divorce. So there is probably like a negative thing to happen, or positive, whatever you guys think into it. But basically, that's a negative event. And this negative event contributed to the GDP growth as well. So even though the economy is growing, the individual's happiness has gone down. So basically, having an economy growth as your success factor is not only not sustainable, it doesn't even take into account how well or your citizens are doing. So why are we still using that as a factor to assess whether how well the economy is doing, or how well your country is doing? So basically, if your country runs out of people to import, and your citizens are not making more any more babies because everyone's struggling, then what happens next, right? Literally, we would face a societal collapse. And I am thinking that we are currently going through that stage, and something might or will happen soon, because this is literally unsustainable, and this system is so hollow, and we are waiting for something to happen. Because what happens when there's no one to support it anymore? We have literally reached almost at the end stage where the growth is no longer sustainable. There's no more new people to support the previous generation, right? So yeah, that's just a thought that got me thinking. Your economy is basically a pyramid scheme, and how unsustainable it is. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys for listening to me, and Once again, see you guys in the next video.